Hello everyone, today is the 8th of June 2021, the second trading day of the week. So in this video, we will run through our 5 most focused markets, mainly the Euro against the US dollar, gold, Nasdaq, WTI, and Bitcoin. And we will talk about it in 3 different sections: what has happened, what's going to happen, and what's our trading plan. So you can make your own decision whether or not to take up our trading ideas. Alright, so the euro against the US dollar. Well, yesterday we saw that it was actually doing a little bit of a pullback from the very previous one. So it completed 2 waves of a pullback. Alright, so there's a very minor pullback channel, and then it went all the way up into this supply zone at the top right here, almost reaching the top of this entire falling channel. It stopped climbing because it has reached this 61.8% level. So right now we are seeing another bit of a consolidation happening right here. So what we see going forward is that we kind of expect that euro against US dollar will be able to find some sort of demand somewhere right here at the breakout area, and after which it may goes up, retest the high right here, and finally reaching the top of this falling channel, and then we can look to sell the gain right here. So the trading plan right here is very simple. Number 1, we are going to wait for a further pullback into this demand zone. So at about 1.2166 is where we are looking to buy. Well, stop loss can simply adjust somewhere at the previous low, which is about 1.2144, and the target is definitely back to the previous high at 1.21, or rather 1.22. Once it goes back into this demand zone, then we want to look for a selling opportunity. Now, why do we still want to sell? The reason is very simple, because if you look at the entire market right now, it is currently trading at a high. Alright, it's currently trading at the top, although on the fundamental level, we do believe that dollar will still continue to weaken and euro will go up eventually. But if you have been following up with the news recently based on the central banks, then you know that the Federal Reserve is, or rather has been talking about tapering. And as for the ECB, apparently they are going to continue with their QE program, which is why we think that the euro against US dollar will still be able to go down further as the dollar starts to strengthen a little bit due to sentiment or expectation of a early tapering and probably a little bit of rate hike in the near future. So that's something we still have to look out for. But in any case, technically speaking, definitely we are at a high, so we can definitely look to sell. So that's for the euro against the US dollar. Next, we have the gold. So for the gold, yesterday it went up. All right, I think it is just as what we have talked about. We expect a pullback, but it's just that the pullback is rather small. Now, usually if we are having small pullback like this, and we have trends going up like this as well, I think going forward we should be able to see more bullish momentum. All right, and definitely when we look at the daily time frame, as I've been talking about it for quite some time, we're expecting the gold to go kind of parabolic all the way back to the 1950 level, which is where we always see the price came down right after it reaches that level. But in any case, as of today, right now we are seeing a resistance at this falling trend line. Right, you can see a pin bar right here, showing some sort of a bearish signal. So the thing is that if you want to go for intraday shorts, well, you can do it right now. The price is pretty good. And where can you aim for? Well, very simply, just put a Fibonacci. I would say that if we just aim for the 50% pullback, that would be good enough. But if you want to go a little bit deeper, then somewhere between 61.8 and 78.6%. So in terms of intraday sell, you can choose a sell now, which is at 1897. Stop loss just right above the previous high, so maybe about 1904. because if it shoots up, it goes up a lot. So if you are wrong by shorting it, then so be it. We want our risk to be as small as possible. But if it goes down, well, you will have plenty to make. But of course, if you want to be really bullish on the gold, let's take a look at the 1 hourly time frame. Now we saw that this is the channel that it pulls back, and this is where it breaks out. So what I'm trying to say is that you can plan to buy the gold as soon as it comes back into this region. So this will be somewhere 1888, and then you can continue to buy. And if you were to buy, definitely you are expecting a breakout of this trend line all the way back to the resistance right here at the top, 1909 or 1910, and that will be where you want to take profits. But if you are kind of trading on a longer term basis, not really say long term, but maybe like swing trading, like you're going to hold it for a few days or throughout the week, then you should be aiming for 1950 all the way to the top, 1950. Now for the Nasdaq, I think as we have mentioned in our previous video, we kind of expect a little bit of pullback, and then it should continue to go up. Well, simply because last Friday we saw a very strong bullish trend happening right here, and it closed right above the neckline. So it is in a way showing a very strong sign of a bullish momentum. And even if you look at the daily time frame, just one candle is enough to, take out all of this bearish candle right here. So it's a very clear-cut bullish signal. And therefore, right now, we want to look for buying opportunity. As you can see, it is right now climbing within a riding channel. So I think somewhere, once it pulls back a little bit, right, probably back to this level at 13,740-ish or 50, we can continue to buy and aim for the high, right? Straight away aim for the previous high, 14,000, and all the way to 14,100. That should be good enough. That will bring us to the top of this entire rising wedge. So that is for the Nasdaq. Oh, by the way, if you were to buy at this level, stop loss wise, if you want to be aggressive, 13,675. But if you want to be a bit more of a conservative, then maybe outside of this rising channel at the bottom, so maybe somewhere at 13,600 will be a more conservative level. Alright, so that's for the Nasdaq. Moving on, US oil. For the US oil, yes, we expect it to be bullish, and in fact, if we just take a look at the daily time frame, it is kind of climbing within a rising channel, and it is right now trying to break out of it in a very bullish manner. But apparently yesterday it actually came down, pretty much as what we have expected as well, because if you look at the daily time frame again, right, we don't kind of see very strong bullish momentum. I mean, like those bullish candle, there is very long bodied bullish candle, so which is why we more or less do expect a pullback. However, do we expect it to go all the way back to the bottom? Unlikely. We think that it will just come back to this level, right, the breakout level. As you can see, this is a very clear demand zone. Price went at this level, show some sort of a reversal, because it is still below the highest price right here, which is why it may get people to sell. If people were to sell right here, then obviously they got trapped. So if the price is able to pull back again, because right now it has already broke out of it, so definitely people who actually shorted right here wants to get out. So wait for the pullback into this level, about 67.2 or 0.1. That's where the sellers will quickly exit, and then they will help to push the price higher from there. So where are we aiming at? Well, back to 70 eventually. We expect it to go all the way to 76, the major equilibrium of the entire markets. Alright, so that is for the US oil. Last but not least, we have the Bitcoin. Well, for the Bitcoin, it really turned out as what we had expected this week, which we have mentioned that it will go down further. So yesterday, after a period of consolidation up and down, it finally went down, break below this kind of a I think we can just see as a rising channel, or rather pullback, upwards pullback channel. Broke below, found a little bit of support, and it just went crashing down. So obviously right now, this area right here will become a important supply zone. Definitely we are still going to be bearish on Bitcoin, even if it goes all the way back, right, somewhere right here, 35,300 to 35,700. We want to short Bitcoin again. So in terms of targets, all the way back into this demand zone at the bottom. So let's aim for 30,000 for the start, and eventually we think that it has the potential to go all the way back to about 20,000, the 2017 high, and a 70% pullback from the highest point. Alright, so that is for the Bitcoin. So just a quick one, looking at the Forex calendar today. Today we have the Euro, German geo-economic sentiment. Well, this is somewhat important data because it shows institutional investors their sentiments in terms of the economy, whether the market is recovering well or not. So that is important. Yeah, of course, the figure is good. You have to push the euro a little bit higher. But going forward, we have the monetary policy, main refinancing rates, and ECB press conference, which is likely going to be more towards dovish. So I think any upwards movement as of now will be very limited, which is why just now when I talk about euro against US dollar, right, my main idea is still to short it. It is still at a range top portion. Alright, so that is all for today. If you like what we have shared so far, do hit the subscribe button, like our video, support us. So see you again tomorrow.